Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, we're back with you, and I'm telling you right now, folks, go to Jay Edwards Music. Check out Jay Edwards. I love this guy, and got a new album out. He's out. Where are you at, Jay? Okay, you're going to have to turn up the mic a little bit or something. I can just barely hear you. There we go. Where you at?
I'm in Perryville, Missouri.
Oh, how's the weather up there, man?
Man, it's hot, just like everywhere else. It's hot. We're about to die, man.
Yeah, thank goodness that you play inside where the air conditioning's going on. But I ain't talked to you in a long time, man. You have been, every time I turn, you're in Texas playing. You did the Bow Extravaganza. I mean, you out there on the road getting it, man. How's it going?
Yeah, it's just 90-0. We're just running and gunning and trying to keep it all alive, man.
Well, it's a hard road to hoe right now. I know it is. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Tell me something. Now, your father was an evangelist, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And y'all travel. I guess the reason that kind of struck me this morning, because we've actually got a guy that's got a tent revival set up here, a whole month here in Hiawassee, a tent revival. And I'm actually going to go because I've never been. I thought, well, that'd be cool to go to this. But did y'all ever do anything like that back? I mean, is that the kind of stuff he did or what?
No, I mean, we didn't have one that we carried with us.
Right.
I'm sure that we did some stuff like that. Used to be the old Georgia Campground was an open air thing, just had garage doors and stuff like that on it. But at one time, but no, I think once my dad left Arkansas,
right.
South Arkansas, and there was the church that we were at. They did a tent revival one time, and because a buddy of mine called me, and I said, "What y'all doing?" He said, "We're having a tent revival. It's 107 degrees." The thing about the tent revival was it was hot.
I guarantee you. That is, I've never been, but I always think like Paulthorne. I know Paulthorne, but his daddy was a Pentecostal preacher, and he based as far as his stage presence, he gets a lot of that from his dad being a Pentecostal preacher. I always thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, same here. My dad's Pentecostal preacher, and my mom played the music. She played accordion, and he played an old flat top guitar. And man, they sang. Used to go around. They'd go down to Louisiana and in New Orleans, Jackson Square, and they'd get around there and one microphone, and sing, preach, and have a big time.
Yeah, that's big times, no doubt. But they've got this one up here. Me and Emily talked about going. That's my wife. I think we're gonna go try it out one night, get up there and see all that's going on with that. But that is really cool. But anyway, like I said, so that let me ask something. Now you were up there playing at the. I guess that's probably the way I understand it. Probably the last Bose Extravaganza. I don't know. I might be wrong about that. I think they're thinking about going a different direction, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. So they call it the last one, but they're also talking about changing the name and doing something different. So, but keeping it going. I mean, John ain't gonna quit.
No.
He ain't gonna,
but now you were up there singing with John, and you was up there with what's his name with Trick Pony?
Keith.
Yeah, Keith Burns and all of them. You was.
Carver.
Do they not get? I mean, like when you get up and start singing, you just blow everybody out of the water. They not get jealous a little bit. They're like, "All right, Jay, go back to the back and keep playing your guitar."
No, Keith's got a thing he does that says when he says if I have to follow Jay Edwards, he said there ain't but one way to do that. And he hits that old guitar and that top string, and he says you sing one of your number one or nominations or something like that.
Number one hits, yeah.
Said Jay Edwards ain't got that yet, so he just hits that and goes at it. But it's big fun, man. I mean, those guys, they mess with me and we joke back and forth. But all of them are great singers and songwriters and just old school. It ain't like it is with some of these young cats, coming along and it's just a bunch of piranhas in the water and everybody's dog eat dog. It's really back to the old school way of everybody adds something to the group and to what's going on, just like the old 70s and
oh yeah,
and you never knew who was going to be on the stage with some of these guys. They were friends. They they did collaborations, and that's what I'm all about. That's what John's all about, and Keith and Cody. So I thought you'd go a little different direction on that one. This year, man, we were up there singing just a good old boy.
Right.
And John's got to where he'll do this thing where he'll say, he said he's fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood, and then he'll repeat it, and he'll go up, and he turns and looks at me, and I say, modern day Robin Hood.
Listen to that voice, folks. That's why I love Jay Edwards right there.
Well, I paused too long this year, and when I did, I heard to the side, somebody said, modern day Robin Hood, and I looked around. I thought it was Keith Burns. Turns out it was Randy Couture.
Oh, really?
MMA fighter. And I was like, holy smokes, that joker just stole my thunder, but I don't think I'm going to go down there. I'm twice his size, but that's really, but
I don't think I'd want to take that on at all, man. I ain't no way. But anyway, y'all just heard him sing just a little bit there, and I'm telling you, Jay Edwards has got the one. I love his voice. Now, you got a new album you've released here?
Man, we got, here's what we're doing. We're doing a little bit of a re-release on the Cold record from 2018. Just released Your Heart of Stone to radio.
Right.
And I've never done the singles game, but we're gonna do it now and see what happens. And so it's out there on the radio. And then I just got a message last night. Somebody in Meridian, Mississippi is doing, they said we're playing I Ain't Broken, which was the first kind of release. We didn't do it. We did it as a single, but I didn't really know what I was doing.
Right.
But playing that.
Now, I'm going to tell you that I Ain't Broken, man. I am telling you right now, that is my favorite. I love that song, and it's on, I mean, honestly, that sold me right there. That is the coolest, absolutely. I mean, the lyrics, the sound, the beat, the whole 9 yards, that to me is a #1 hit song. I personally believe that.
I think it's great. Man, I tell you, a funny story is that I got a call from Mississippi, from Natchez, Mississippi, not long ago.
Right.
And brother down there and said, the DJ from Gator 104.7, he said, hey, man, we're playing your song. And I was like, good, man. I'm glad this money's paying off. And I said, wait, which song you talking about? And he said, Country Coming On. I said, that hadn't even been released yet, man. I don't even, we haven't even recorded that one. And it's going to be on an underground thing. It's not something I was thinking we'd ever release.
Right.
He found it on YouTube. We started playing it. And people around Natchez and Faraday and Vidalia, Louisiana, so they all started calling in about it. And he said, we're getting requests every day for this song. I was like, and it's a YouTube video that they're playing on the radio.
Wow. That's good news, man. That is absolutely good news, no doubt. But y'all go to Jay Edwards Music. Y'all can check him out, Jay. We've had him on before, and like I said, he is, man, his voice is just unreal. And, I mean, if you like Chris Stapleton, I mean, I like your voice better than do Chris Stapleton, honestly. I really do. But not only that, you're a super, super good guy. No, I mean, honestly, and out there trying to make it. And it's hard, you know, for an independent artist. You have to build your fans on your own, you know, and that's the thing. You know, you're talking about the music of yesterday. I have got a guy sent me a mashup with all these modern songs that's on the radio today. And they took like 6 or 8 different songs and just put them together, and it's the same song. It's the same song. It's like when they get up and do a show, the band just plays the same song, just one right after another, and they don't change anything, and they just change the words a little bit.
You got 6 or 8. I got one mashup that goes like 25, 30, 35. They just keep on going, the same song.
Yeah.
It's the same lyrics too. It's what we call a grocery list.
Right.
It's writing. So you just make this list out, and then from song to song, you switch the list around, and there's no setup, so that there's no real hook. It's just a phrase at the end of it, you know, that and then there it is. And
right.
So, okay, all right, you know.
But you know, that's the thing about it. You know, we talked to Paul Overstreet, and he's, you know, of course, he's connected with all the folks up there in Nashville. There's no doubt. But he said the records executives are telling him that they're not releasing the best country music written right now because it don't fit their what they're looking for as far as radio. And it's sad to think that these songs
without hooks. A song without a hook is like what?
It's like rain without an umbrella.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I could go on and get on the soapbox all day long, but they think it's a hook because, you know, hey, here's this little phrase I say, you know, you say "girl in a sundress." Well, if you don't have a setup for that, that's just a sentence. That's just a piece of a sentence that says "girl in a sundress." It don't mean nothing when you got all this other stuff just piled up. It's, you know, it just don't make no sense. It ain't like somebody wrote a song called "If He Tells You That He's Leaving, I Don't Want to Know."
Right.
Oh, that was me. Yeah, I know.
That's the thing. You write your own things, but that's funny talking about hooks. You know, if you go back like Mac Davis, you know, he wrote some great songs, and that song "Baby, Baby, Don't Get Hooked on Me," he was in the studio, and the guy that was with him, he said, "Look, man, you need a hook. You need a hook. You got to do a hook." And so just out of joking, he said,
notes.
Yeah, he said, "Baby," he said he wrote this little song for him and started singing it just for the fun of it. You know, "Baby, baby, don't get hooked on me," you know. And that guy said, "I know you're being funny, but that right there is what I'm talking about." And that's a hit. And it was, you know, that's kind of where it all comes from. But now I mean, you've got hundreds of songs that you've wrote, man, and I love your style. I mean, honestly, I you know, and it ain't what I call outlaw country. I mean, because I know a lot of folks want to do the outlaw thing, but I mean, it's not. I mean, it's just good old country music, man, with soul. It's soul. It's got some soul to it.
It's kind of in the old styles of Delbert McClinton and then, you know, I mean, you mentioned Chris Stapleton. I love Chris Stapleton. I love what he's doing.
Right.
But you know, I was doing that a long time before.
Right.
But Southern soul, but it's still got those. I write those country stories, so it's got a lot of that in it too. So, I hope that there's some sort of revival. I'm not trying out there leading a revolution, but the truth is that, you know, there's still a ton of grown-up folks out there that are interested and they want something that's going to move them, something that's going to, you know, not just hit them in the butt, but it's going to hit them in the heart, hit them in the head, give them something to think about.
Right.
And you just gotta find that. I kind of just rambling here and ranting, but I get so many people, venue owners and things that say, well, my people love this, or my people like this. They like it to do like this. And they don't have a clue. I mean, I walk in and say, hey, this is the way I'm going to do it. And it just kind of blows their mind. They're like, man, you know, nobody gets away with that, but we do, because there's people out there that want to hear something real. And they want to hear something that tells the truth and talk some of those issues that they don't really like to talk about, but it's there. So you got to, I mean, it's there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm with you, man. I mean, you go back to, I think I'll just stay here and drink. You know how that song, I mean, honestly, like, I think I'll just stay here and drink. You know, that's no doubt. But I mean, them songs to me, and like I said, I love your stuff. I mean,
it's a song about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, that's it. You know, that's where it's all about.
Exactly. Exactly. I sing a lot of songs about cheating and broken hearts, and you know, you don't get none of that anymore. And a lot of people talking about whiskey and drinking, but they're not talking about the reasons that some people drink and spend all their time in a bar or get involved in other things. And it's not promoting it. I'm not trying to promote it. I'm just trying to tell somebody out there that's, hey man, yeah, somebody else has been right there where you're at.
But let me ask you something. I mean, of course, we ain't got much time left, but you write a lot of songs, and when you actually hear a song, and it's like, dang, I wish I'd have wrote that. I should have done that. I mean, that's just something that, you know, is like, that is so simple, but that is so good. I mean, do you ever do that? I do that.
I hadn't done it in a while. Is that? I'm really not trying to, you know, just come down on some of this new stuff. But that's the sad part about it. I moved to Nashville in 2009, and man, we used to we used to go in and sit and listen to somebody write somebody's song that hadn't got cut, and you're like, why is that song not cut? I don't understand. And you'd find yourself clapping in the middle of the song because they had a line or they said something that meant something. And I don't know, man. It hadn't happened in a while. And
I don't, of course I'm a big Alan Jackson fan. I mean, I love his stuff, no doubt, but he's got that song, The Older I Get, man. You talking about hitting home. I mean, I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have wrote that. I could have done that,
Yeah. Well, that's what I do. People say, you write these songs, you got all these stories. I said, I don't write my songs about me. I write my songs about other things I've seen.
Right.
And I write songs so that people could come to me and say, man, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And they do that. There was a guy that I mentioned that song, I Don't Want to Know. And there's a guy came to me last night and after the show, and he was like, man, there's this song. He said, you started out. He said, it starts out and you're singing. And he said, you say, if he tells you that he's leaving. And I said, yeah, I know it. It's I Don't Want to Know. He said, you got that on CD? I got to have that. He said, man, I got to have that. He said, I can't go into it, but that's my song right there. He said, I got it. Well, brother, I wrote it for you. I didn't know you, but I wrote it for you.
That makes you feel good. Jay, we've got to get to a break. Y'all go to Jay Edwards Music. You cannot miss him. And you check out his stuff, check out his music. You're going to love this guy. And, man, I appreciate you getting up early. I know it's early up there where you're at, but always good to talk to you, man.
You too, my friend.
And don't forget to call me this afternoon, and we'll talk on the way home. So that being said, man, you take care.
All right, see you, man.
All right. Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.